Hello. Test results came back. She's actually just that fast. Is she human or is she not? So was she born in Area 51 or was she actually born in Jamaica? Just let me know. So she was born down there in the islands. So them islands created that. So you telling me I need to go there soon too? Because I'm trying to run fast like that too. Okay. So you telling me she from Earth, not from Krypton, or okay. Okay. I just had to check. Okay. Alright, okay.
Money grow. Who really real? Tell me how you really feel. Keep it Uncle Phil. Do you kill like a Navy SEAL? Rolling off a pill, very trill. You ain't got a deal. Do you really steal? Rob the stove.
Well, actually, it is gonna be kind of weird. Like, cause you're like right here. To the living room you go, please.
Why is it weird?
Because I'm acting a complete fool.
Like, I literally seen you
My God told me to tell somebody, slap your neighbor and tell him I'm getting ready to break out, and you're still in here.
Shut up!
Confusing me because I already kind of.
Shut up!
I asked you to get out of here, so hit the road. No, just come back. No. Alright, I'm done. Alright.
Where's my box?
Right there! Get your charger booty and get your booty out of here! Okay.
I'm tired of you being rude to me.
You know what I'm trying to do about it? So actually, back to my thought, back to what I was saying. I just believe on this day we have something to address.
An amazing 100 meters she made.
And it is known as the Prefontaine Classic, and what transpired at that mug that might have been a mess.
No contest. What happened to...
Look, let's go ahead, let's address the elephant in the room. I don't even feel like wasting nobody time here. One, the meat was fire. Like, that was a good meat. Like, low-key, I wouldn't put it on par with the Olympics for obvious reasons because there was history happening there, and the fact that, you know, we had a Super Saiyan who wasn't playing, come on now. But I will say, from a sprint standpoint, we literally saw better sprint performances, needless to say. Like, faster 100-meter times on both the men and women's side, faster 200-meter times on the men's side. The way I see it is, it could be a product of preparation, given the fact that people was actually able to get somewhere and be situated so that they can be stable and ready to perform. It could also be the fact that they're in Oregon, they're back in their hometown instead of Tokyo, and it's probably less pressure, even though pressure is an illusion, it's what you make it, where Cindy McLaughlin, she said it first. But I will say, we saw some performances, you know what I mean? I specifically want to talk about one. I want to specifically talk about one right here because I don't understand why this one event just got blown completely out of proportion. One young lady that goes by the name of Sha'Carri lost a race. Now yes, it wasn't the prettiest of losses, but all of us know wins and losses gonna come a dime a dozen, and sometimes you gonna have that day where you gonna get popped. It just happens in the sport of track and field. People get popped from time to time. Like, we didn't see it. Even the great one known as Usain Bolt got popped from time to time. There was a great man that went by the name of Wallace Spearman. They used to pop him in that 200. There was a great man that goes by the name of Tyson Gay. They used to pop him in that 100. Like, I don't understand why we're sitting over just acting like this is just some brand new stuff. We've seen some of the greatest track athletes lose a race before and get bust down, no rolling. All they do is come back and they catch their dubs. I understand this one side of it. Well, she created all this hype around the race with all the talking. That's part of her personality. She's probably been doing that for a while. Obviously, if you're gonna do a sport and enjoy a sport, you want to be your best authentic self at all times. You don't want to compromise who you are just because you're at a new level unless you feel or desire to do so. Clearly, she probably don't. So it's cool. Okay, she created a hype around the race. And what did we all do? Watch the race. Now, side note. Personally, I was watching to see what Sha'Carri do, but I was watching to see what Elaine do regardless of the situation. You have Elaine Thompson, Shelly Ann Fraser, Sharika Jackson, Tiana Daniels, them four names alone, and you got Sha'Carri in there too. And then you got Talou in there, like, bro. Javion Oliver, I hope I said the name right. Bro, the heat was hot regardless of the situation. Whether Sha'Carri was in it or not, that was going to be a hotly viewed race, at least on my end, because the heat was hot. You talking about, like, I'm talking about the power of a sun. I'm talking about that he was finna go supernova out here. I'm talking about flame.
What?
Oh, what the? Boy, do you know how fast the race gotta be for me to create a new form of English just in this very moment? Like, bro, come on, like, stop playing. Just stop playing. I gotta understand on the flip side, she created a hyper-run race, which caused more people to want to watch the race. Everybody named Mama wants track to receive more notoriety. Regardless of how the girl performed, she's bringing the sport more notoriety. Because she's making people want to watch the sport. As a track athlete myself, I like when more people want to watch the sport. Even the ones that got a limited knowledge that might speak an opinion that is all the way off the wall, bouncing all over the place. At least they watching the sport. Like, the sport has some attention. Bro, like, aren't y'all tired of seeing track not get views past high school? Like, it's hot in high school, it's some heat when you get to NCAAs in college, and it's some heat when you get Olympics. Other than that, don't nobody care about no other meets regarding track and field. Prefontaine Classic, finally more people, I'm talking from music artists to professional players in NFL and NBA, they watching these meets now like, dude, y'all see what's happening? I got it now, I understand now. Y'all like picky children. Y'all want the sport to get notoriety, yet you have a problem with how notoriety is coming. I understand why there may be initial resistance to how notoriety is coming to the sport because it's non-traditional and it hasn't been seen before. I understand, but a lot of y'all don't like stuff just because it's unfamiliar. Nonetheless, understand the end goal is still being achieved. More people watching the sport. Like, that's what I want to see. I want to see more people watching this sport. I want to see track get the respect that it deserves, the viewership that it deserves, because when it gets the respect it deserves and the viewership that it deserves, then the athletes are getting the compensation that they are deserving. That's what we really want. We want people to be able to enjoy the sport that they love, but also be able to support themselves, their families, and their lifestyle. More people watching the sport, respecting the sport, viewing the sport, bringing more money into the sport. And then on the flip side, I don't understand why it's like, okay, because some of y'all are also getting mad because criticism is coming. Name me one sport where there's a high-profile athlete within the sport. They talk a big game and they don't perform to their best that they could have, and even they know that at the time. Please tell me what happens the following day. Whether you see what Skip and Shannon on Undisputed or SportsCenter, ESPN, wherever you see that, you're going to see what happens. You're going to see what? Criticism. That's a part of the game. Like, track. Y'all want to be taken serious as a sport, but y'all don't want what comes with a serious sport, which is criticism from people's opinions that do not necessarily matter because you don't even know them people. Do you know the one way that you can mitigate the power somebody's opinion has? You can either elect not to listen to it, or you can actually empower it by responding to it. Regardless of the situation, they said what they said. So I understand y'all want to go to war. Hey man, y'all stop being so critical. Okay, prime example. If you see somebody in the NFL and the cornerback get fried, Jalen Ramsey. We're going to use Jalen Ramsey. This is just an example for example purposes. Jalen Ramsey lining up against DeAndre Hopkins. Jalen Ramsey been talking all stuff the entire month leading up to this game, saying how he gonna lock DeAndre Hopkins up, and DeAndre Hopkins goes for 3 touchdowns and $180 on him. And they win the game. Everybody and their mama gonna be calling this man trash. And everybody and mama's also gonna recognize that's a part of the game. And what they gonna tell Jalen Ramsey to do? Bounce back. I don't think that it's any different with Sha'Carri. But even deeper, here's another thing. There is a woman within a race that just ran a 10:54. That is second fastest in history. The focal point right now does not even need to be Sha'Carri. It should be Elaine. Bro, this is the Olympic champion that busted 10:61 and then just popped a 10:54. And she ain't done it, and she only 29. I said only 29. I am 22. 29 is not old, but it is older than me. So I ain't only 29, but I ain't even see no Elaine Thompson interview, nor did I see a Shelly Ann interview, like, or even the highest performing American within the race, which was Tiana Daniels. Like, nothing. The focal point was the one that created the hype loss. I mean, I understand why, but bro, like, can y'all share some of the? Because I ain't gonna lie, Elaine Thompson's story could be quite interesting. Honestly, Tiana Daniels' story could be quite interesting. Like, that has been a consistent performer day in and day out. I feel like at some point we're gonna have to acknowledge that. But can we also acknowledge the history that is literally being made before our very eyes? 1054? There are men right now that if they lined up with a 1054 that's a woman, they would be at least nervous. I ain't gonna name no names, and don't look at me, okay? And please realize, the last woman that was running this type of fast was perceived to be inhuman or on steroids. Her records have been living on until this very moment where they might be in danger of coming down. That's why I've been trying to figure out, like, baby girl from Area 51 or Jamaica? Or, I mean, was she created or was she actually, like, who created her? Was that a lab or was it God? Because I feel like, you know, sometimes men be doing some funny things and they like to play God sometimes. So who made you? Where did you come from? You just let me know. Because I feel like it's some aliens and superhumans and mutants that's starting to invade the sport of track and field. Because Elaine ain't the only one, but she is one that we talking about right now. I'm just playing. I mean, hey, that queen is fast. That queen is fast. Shelly and fast. Whole race was great. But I also want to acknowledge something else. Andre? Because the main focal point of today's video is definitely gonna be that women's 100. That one was hot. But I also want to talk about Andre. Like 973. The last time that man touched that track, I believe he went 976. And he was in a USC uniform, so obviously that boy still. I'm talking about, it's been about 5 years and he's still coming back like that? He just popped on some 9.8s and 9.9s. Like, that was a hot heat. He just, you know how fast you gotta be moving to make a hot heat look cold, bro? That's Big Dre from now on. That's Big Dre the Iceman. He make hot heats look cold. Big Dre. Big Dre from the Seaville. You already know what it is. Seaville Red Ravens. He don't know if he see this, but I mean, he probably won't. But if he see this, he know what I'm talking about. Woo! Big Dre. Big Dre. Hey, Big Dre. Last but definitely not least, hey, Mr. Kamehameha himself, Noah Lyles. But I feel like it has to be weird to literally, weeks after the Olympics, come back and run the time that would have won the Olympics. Honestly, Noah's an Olympic bronze medalist, so you can't knock the man. But you also understand he had the capability to win the Olympics, and he just showed you exactly why I'm able to say that. He just popped a 1952. That's the fastest time this year. And it really begins to allow me to see in the sport of track and field what is so valuable, which is what you do on that day. What you do on that day matters so much because you literally have people that are running Olympic gold medalist times, but they don't have an Olympic gold medal because it was not done on that day. But in conclusion, I feel like I'm gonna just conclude the video with this, that right there. The fact of the matter is, track and field is so powerful and it has so much pressure to it because it does not matter what it is you can do, what it is you train to do. It only matters what you are going to do on that day. Once again, you got people running Olympic gold medalist times. Not without having a gold medal because they did not do it on that day. That's crazy to me. You know how much pressure you must have to understand I could win the Olympics right now, but it only matters if I execute on this day. If I can execute the next day and I can execute a week from now or weeks from now, but if I don't do it on this day, I'm not getting an Olympic gold medal. That's crazy. But hey, without further ado, I definitely plan on giving y'all more track content, even deeper. I'm gonna have some more content for y'all on the way. You know, I'm reloading the channel, I'm getting back on it. You know, I've been trying to fix my schedule, get my stuff together. All I'm gonna say is I'm embarking on this new journey as a post-collegiate athlete myself. So them vlogs about to be dropping. You about to see how we do it in this professional game. But until then, it's your boy J. Lou, 3 to the 1 to the 4, and I'm Audi 5 to the 30.
One more time, ho. Big body bitch look like Tahoe. Chopper with a stick, look at my low. Yeah, I leave that don't follow. Yeah, I'll pull up on a model. Okay, pull out, get that money, then I go.